Welcome. We are visiting the provisions of Indian Contract Act, Chapter 1, regarding communications of acceptance and revocation of proposals. In the previous sessions, we have visited sections 3, 4, 5, and 6. Today, we shall be visiting sections 7, 8, and 9. Section 7 provides for the acceptance must be absolute. The legislative sanction is that acceptance is to be absolute. There is no option with the acceptor to have a partial acceptance. It reads as, in order to convert a proposal into a promise. So the word promise is added. In order to convert a proposal into a promise, the acceptance must be, number one, absolute and unqualified, and second, be expressed in some usual and reasonable manner, unless the proposal prescribes the manner in which it is to be accepted. If the proposal prescribes a manner in which it is to be accepted, and the acceptance is not made in such manner, the proposal may, in reasonable time after the acceptance is communicated to him, insist that his proposal shall be accepted in the prescribed manner and not otherwise. But if he fails to do so, he accepts the acceptance. See, in order to convert a proposal into a promise, then here are the conditions. Number one, the acceptance is to be absolute and is to be unqualified. The second condition is that if the same is to be accepted in a particular form, if the proposal has a clause that acceptance shall be in a particular form, then even after the acceptance is conveyed, the proposer, the first person may insist that the acceptance shall follow in a prescribed form. As far as the acceptance part is concerned, for that, the same will be permitted to be there, and the person proposing will wait, and if the acceptor is giving the acceptance in the prescribed form. So here is one phase. It is expressed in some usual and reasonable manner, so acceptance is acceptable. However, if in the proposal there is a clause that acceptance is to be in a particular form, then the person proposing, after receiving the acceptance, can insist that the acceptance shall follow in the prescribed form. So it is here where in some situations there may arise a conflict, differences of opinion, and that difference of opinion would be that when the acceptance otherwise has followed in absolute and unqualified form, but somehow it is not in the prescribed manner, then how long one is to wait? Proposal has a right that acceptance shall follow in the prescribed form, but no time limit is provided. Therefore, here it will be presumed that the insistence from the proposal that the acceptance shall be in the prescribed form, the same shall follow in a reasonable time. Now, Section 8 provides acceptance by performing conditions or receiving consideration. Now, it is this clause which deserves to be appreciated in the sensitiveness of the provision itself. Performance of the conditions of a proposal or the acceptance of any consideration for a reciprocal promise which may be offered with a proposal is an acceptance of the proposal. Now, see what range of situations are covered here in section A. Number one, A sends a proposal and there are some conditions in the proposal and those conditions are performed, then it will be complete lawful acceptance. Then, or the acceptance of any consideration for a reciprocal promise means if in the acceptance there is some consideration being put forward and that is accepted, that follows, means from the other side, means from the first person who is proposing, even then it will be an acceptance of the proposal. So see, big chain of things. A sends a proposal. B performs the conditions of the proposal. Then acceptance is complete. The second situation, the proposal is sent, an acceptor also puts some reciprocal promise, and the same is offered. Even then, the same may amount to acceptance because the performance of the conditions of a proposal or the acceptance of any consideration for a reciprocal promise which may be offered with a proposal is an acceptance of the proposal. Therefore, while we will be in the real situations of conduct and dealings of human beings, then that may not be a simple range of sequence of the events. The conditions, performance, and the reciprocal promise are very big reservoir of the features of real situations. Now, Section 9 provides promises express and implied. In so far as the proposal or acceptance of any promise is made in words, see, in words, the promise is said to be express. That means the legislature is making it specific that the express form is the same is to be expressed in words. So the norm being set here in this scheme of things is that the promises, proposals, acceptance shall be expressed in words, which would mean oral and written as well. Therefore, the express form of proposal or acceptance of any promise is expected that same shall be in words. It should not be in the form of signals or some other indirect method of conveying the meanings. Insofar as such proposal or acceptance made otherwise than in words, the promise is said to be implied. Now, in implied situations, naturally, there are chances of misinterpretation. This is called a communication gap. There may be well intended signals, but those signals may not be potent enough to express themselves. However, as far as the intention of law is concerned, it is accepting express and implied expressions. Both express and implied expressions are lawful under Section 9. But when it is defined what express and what implied is, and when the choice is being made as when the expression is in words, it is to be taken as an expressed, and when it is otherwise, it is to be taken as implied. No doubt, even the expression in words may create situations where the express meanings may require to be inferred by interpretations and by use of the dictionaries and other ways to reach at what the words convey. However, when we are in the implied situations, then the difficulty is going to be more intensified as to interpret the signals or the manners otherwise than the tools of the words. The same are going to be a very, very different spectrum. To interpret the spectrum of intention and meanings from signals is really a big challenge. As far as the words are concerned, in respect thereof as well, to reach at the real meanings and intentions of those words, no doubt will cause some difficulties in some situations. However, in case of expression in words, we human beings have a long history, intellectual history, and we have already developed dictionaries and rules to interpret, and the rules of grammars, etc., are available with us. But as far as the signals domain is concerned, it is here where the interpretation is really a challenge. Therefore, we as lawyers have been confronted with such situations. Therefore, whenever a situation arises for having interpretation of the expressions otherwise than in words, then we have to approach it in the same degree of sense and sense and sensitivity as the signals being availed or symbols being availed or the expression being formatted. We have to be parallel with the same. To be parallel with the same, as the spectrum is going to be of many colors, of many streams. Therefore, as such, we cannot have a general rule of interpretation. However, with experience and with the reality of the previous such situations having already emerged, settled, and resolved in the litigations as precedents, the same may help us. However, each such spectrum has its own challenge, and we have to come up to the expectations of that challenge. Let us now refresh ourselves, having a fresh visit to the provisions of section 3 to 9 of this chapter 1. Let us revisit section 1, section 3. The section 3 is communication regarding acceptance and revocation of proposal. The communication of a proposal. The word communication now takes us to the expressions in words or otherwise. Therefore, the communication word used here, communication of proposal, the word communication here, when is taken to the text of section 9, the same will bring us face to face with, as there will be many different ways of communications. These different ways of communications as such naturally will be of diversity because of the diversity of the communication tools and communication medium to be availed. Therefore, when we will be face to face with the communication of proposals or the acceptance of proposals or revocation of proposals, then the communication itself will many times become a real challenge. The communication of written words, of spoken words, of written words conveyed through posts or other communication means in themselves have their own imprints. As such, the communication of proposals, the acceptance of proposals, and revocation of proposals will be classified as express communications and as implied communications, as has been the text of section 9 of this chapter. Now, there is also a word deemed to be made. Now, this word deemed to be made takes us to mental states and other physical manifestations of expressions. Therefore, the mental and physical expressions cementing as communications is another aspect of appreciation and evaluation of the text of section 3 and also this chapter in respect of the whole range of the provisions from section 3 to section 9. The section 4, communication when complete. Now see, again the word used is communication. It will again take us to, it will also confront us with when it is in words, when it is otherwise. So when it is in words, the difficulty is going to be of a lesser intensity. But when these communications are otherwise than in words, then naturally the intensity or degree of responsibility to have proper interpretation thereof is naturally of a higher degree of a challenge. The communication of a proposal is complete, so the completeness as well is a feature, and the same is also going to have different degrees of difficulties of interpretation and conclusions to be reached at. The communication of an acceptance or communication of the proposal, etc., are having the same features and same degree of challenges. The revocation of proposals and acceptances likewise are having the same formatted difficulties of interpretation. Then, as far as the section 6 is concerned, it is said the revocation how made, because here one particular legislative methodology method of revocation is sanctioned here. It is proposed here. It is sanctioned here. Now, by the communication of notice. So here the word used is notice. Now, notice again is not specified whether it is to be in writing or otherwise. So this, as it stands, will naturally will include the oral notices as well. And the oral notices also will further contain within their domain the notices by signals and then by symbols. So signals, symbols, words, oral, written, and every other method of a notice. Therefore, here again, the word notice deserves to be visited, deserves to be appreciated, deserves to be evaluated, deserves to be given the legal implication, legal intention behind this word. Notice is a word like any other word, but notice is a word of a specific generic features. So its interpretation as well is a real challenge many times in many situations. Then it is said lapse of the time prescribed. Now the word lapse as well deserves to be appreciated like the word notice. And then the word here again is failure of the acceptor. So the word failure, like the lapse, is a word of distinct meanings, and those meanings as well deserve to be properly appreciated and imbibed as it is in terms of the features and meanings of words like failure, lapse. Notice that the ultimate interpretation, ultimate meanings, ultimate intentions are to be inferred. Then the word death and insanity are also used in subsection 4 of section 6. The death as such is somehow, because of the medical yardstick, is many times practically is not going to be a subject matter of a dispute. However, as far as the insanity is concerned, it in itself is having a bit and degree of difficulties, because insanity relates to the mental state, and mind, when is to be interpreted by the mind itself, it is a real challenge. Our intellectual growth, the growth of the medical sciences, medical tools as well, are changing the spectrum of the intensity. The insanity that way by this time has become a subject of varied degrees. Now, when the insanity is to be taken as of the order, format, and features of subsection 4 of section 6 are going to confront us, going to cause some difficulties of interpretation, and it is in terms of the interpretation for the conceptual words like insanity, the justice, the decision is likely to have a different reach. Therefore, the lesson is that we shall compile our own legal dictionary. This degree, this of interpretations in terms of the dictionaries, interpretations in terms of the authorities. So there are two different sources which will be helpful for us to have our own comprehension, our own understanding of these technical words. So it is in terms of our own understanding, our own imbibing of the legal meanings of these technical terms that we will be assisting the courts, or we will be assisting the system, and the system will come out with the quality of the justice parallel with the quality of our understanding of these technical terms is going to be while we will be dealing with the particular litigations or particular situations. Now, the words promise, word proposal. These two words, proposal and promise. Now, when any proposal is made for other person to accept, means to consider, that would mean that person proposing will be saying, if you will do this particular act, or you will omit from doing this particular act, then I promise to do this particular act or omission. So promise is in respect of the consideration. So promise is related to the consideration, and consideration is to be of double shade. The consideration is to be of values for the person proposing and person accepting. That is why there is a class of reciprocal proposals, or reciprocal considerations, or reciprocal promises. So proposal, acceptor, the promise, consideration, express and implied implications, communications are the words which shall be included in our dictionary under this chapter. Let us have a fresh tabulation of these technical terms. Better it is if these terms are choiced, collected by having the text of each of these sections in our mind. Each section be chased, each section be scanned, and every technical term of it be picked up, be made part of one's legal dictionary, and one shall imbibe the features and values in the light of the interpretations possible for these technical terms in terms of dictionaries, and above all in terms of the authorities of the high courts and the appeals court. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.